You know those conversations that you just have spontaneously with friends and just goes off the walls and stuff? This is pretty much what we're doing here, except we're recording it. I'm Not Much 23.
I'm ChoasAssassin.
This is Gamer Experience, and let's see where this goes. Of course, we have Backseat Gorilla with us.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, he streams on YouTube, has some videos as well. YouTube.com/BackseatGorilla. Or do you still have the bgp.rip domain?
Yes, I do. That will lead you directly to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to remember.
Yep, 6 letters, 2 dots, or 1 dot. Yeah, 6 letters, 1 dot.
Yeah.
It was tough to get too.
I can't help but get off the fed rhythm things and relaxation. And what are games that you guys play to help just relax? Like, you want to play a game, but you don't want to do anything extensive, so you just play a game to just relax and vibe. What do y'all do?
Farming Simulator 22.
I like Stardew Valley and Paleo.
Is Stardew any good?
I have enjoyed my time, which is very limited playing the game. I actually started off kind of the cozy genre with Paleo. Really Animal Crossing, but I didn't really get that big into it. So, yeah, Paleo is kind of like Stardew Valley, but with better graphics. It's almost a clone, but not really. So both games are very fun.
So what's the biggest difference between like Stardew Valley and Terraria?
I have not played Terraria.
Me neither.
So I think Terraria is a side scroller and Stardew Valley is a Mario 3 type top down.
Oh, I'll download it.
I was gonna buy it on the Steam summer sale, but by the time I went around buying it, it was gone. The price had increased.
Well, the main one I've been playing for relaxing is Raft, which is funny to think about it because it's a survival game, but I find that kind of just out of all the other games I have, which are like Fallout, Elden Ring, Elder Scrolls, like I'm actually upset right now with Skyrim because I have the anniversary edition, but I don't have all of the creation things added like they're supposed to be added, which sucks because there's actually really good farm you can get with it. And I'd have to pay for it, and I don't feel like paying because I'm broke. But no, have either of you tried Raft?
No,
I've not.
I find it nice and relaxing. I've streamed it once or twice. I might stream it again probably here in the next few days. But basically, you're on a 2x2 raft, and you have a hook, and you gotta hook the resources. Every so often, you get on an island that you can get a few more resources for. You got to be careful of the shark that's trying to eat you. But you just, craft things to survive, make your raft bigger. There's somewhat of a storyline to the game where you have like boss fights and stuff. I've gotten that far, I think, once, but for the most part, you can just sit and relax. I keep killing the shark and growing my crops.
Minecraft is another one of those relaxing games.
I do like playing Minecraft to relax, but at the same time, I get burnt out on it way too easily.
Yeah, I just don't have that kind of experience. I probably got, a couple 300 hours in the game. But I don't know. I've never beaten the dragon. Like, I've just been concentrating on my own little farmhouse, stable thing.
Yeah, no.
I don't take it seriously. Like, hey, have y'all seen that? Who was it? Grandma or somebody, grandpa that played Skyrim and just like went around fishing and stuff. Like,
yeah,
that was their daily activity.
Yeah, they just went and they had a small farm, and for the most part, they just went fishing. Like that's it.
Really cool. That's really cool. Like, there's a gaming grandpa that does like Call of Duty stuff, and I think that's really cool too.
Terrifies me. I've seen his gameplay. Like, he'll just sit there just like, watch, that dude's gonna do such and such. See, told you. Now let's show him how it's really done. And he'll just sit there and just body him from across the map. Like, what? The worst part is after those videos came out, I saw another video of him saying like the worst thing he ever did is told people how to actually zero in the scope in the game. Because after that, he just started getting sniped by all sorts of people because people's like, oh, so that's how you do it. And so everybody zeroed in their scopes. And so now he'd be setting up. By the time he sees the glint of them, they've already taken his head off. It's like, bro,
That's rough, dude.
I'll give it credit to like the grandma and grandpa gamers. Like I would not expect that generation to be as good of gamers as they are, considering the fact that they didn't grow up on video games like we do. And there are some of them, they are better than some of the pros that play professionally and get paid for it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
But we also live in a day and age where, it's really easy to get paid for gaming, except, when you actually want to get paid for gaming.
Yeah.
One day we'll make money for doing things we love.
Yeah, but think about getting paid for doing something you love is that probably a lot of other people love doing it too. So there's that whole supply demand thing.
That's valid.
Yeah, you
That
gotta
is
find
very
that market gap. And finding a market gap that you love, well, yeah.
No, I've thought about doing a Gen 1 Pokemon stream, but it is so hard to try to get the ROMs and everything to work properly for any of the Gen 1 games. Like I've tried getting them work and I just can't get them to work. It took me probably about 2 weeks just to get Skyrim back modded and operational because they updated everything. I found out because a friend of mine came and looked and was like, dude, it's not working because you're running the wrong version of Skyrim. What? Yeah, you're running this version. You're trying to run like 12 versions back. Oh. So what do I do? Start from ground zero and get mods for that version? Well, can't I go back? I mean, you can, but it's a pain in the ass. Got it. So which version did I need again? So I got it operational.
Oh man, you're making me chuckle a little bit. Okay, so I mean, you guys both know I've had my fair share of playing Beat Saber over the years, and when you were talking about modding Skyrim, this is a big struggle in the Beat Saber community. So behind the Beat Saber community, you have a modding community. And the modding community is really what makes that game still relevant all these years later after release. Like, it is the flagship VR rhythm game, always has been, and unless somebody dethrones it, it always will be. It's the gold standard.
The mods that the game's still relevant, like
This is-
Skyrim.
yes. So, like, downloading maps for songs that aren't included in the game, and like there's we can go into a discussion about like tweaking your controllers, but it's kind of relevant. So like there's mods that make it easier to tweak the settings. There's mods that make it easier for you to replay certain sections of a map. There's mods that make all kind of crazy 3D trippy psychedelic visuals happen and like totally disorient you. There's mods out there that break the rules of the game and it still runs. And then Beat Games, who is owned by Meta, comes along and says, you know what, we're just going to drop a 0.2 on that, and it breaks everything.
Yep.
And they do this very frequently. In fact, on my Discord server, it's I think it's a private channel, but I have a alert system set up on my Discord channel that alerts me when they're dropping new mods, because that means I need to take precautions to keep my current game save or my current game version from being updated. And there's ways around that. And there's actually a whole new program that they came out last year before. That makes it really easy to revert back to previous game versions. And Steam itself has, in some games, if the developers allow, reverts back to certain game versions.
Yeah, they don't do that with Skyrim.
Right, they don't.
They gave the anniversary free update to everybody. That's the update that crashed all of my mods. And I couldn't figure out what the issue was. I tried going back things, like it ended up to the point that I had to just wipe the system and start fresh. And it kept me frustrated for about 9 months before I was like, I'm just not I took a break, waited about a year. It's like, all right, I want to play, modded Skyrim again. Let's see how I do this. And it took me a week just to get Skyrim done. Fallout, it took me 2 days because I had spent a week fighting with Skyrim for it.
Familiar.
The upside with Fallout is as the moment I can figure out which version I need for the mods, I have all of the mods for my Fallout 4 on a hard drive. The issue is when I was working on Skyrim when they first changed it, I didn't download and copy all of the Skyrim mods onto that flash drive before I deleted them all.
Mm.
And the collection pack that I had downloaded most of them from no longer exists. And like a third of those mods are no longer on Nexus.
Yeesh.
Because Nexus did something and pissed off a bunch of modders, and so the modders took their shit off. Which is funny because one of the mods I really enjoy for Fallout, you need a very specific mod to have the mod run. It's an essential mod.
That's familiar with
The
Beat
essential
Saber.
mod isn't on Nexus anymore. Like
I also have a copy of Beat Saber fully modeled stored on a flash drive I keep on my keychain.
I have a my passport, and it has like all of the movies that I like, a lot of the shows I like, and mods.
Nice.
Like it's one of those things of this. It is mine.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about the Beat Saber community. There's like BS mods. Like you're not gonna. I mean, you'll find some on like Nexus and places like that, but like there's a whole big deal BSMG Beat Saber modders group, and you're talking about the dependencies on other mods and everything. Like there is kind of like like a community created mod hub for all of this to take place, and they've written like exes to make it modding your game is just as simple as a few clicks.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't.
It's amazing.
I don't understand with like the with a lot of the gaming companies. Like they want to copyright everything. It's like, oh no, you can't do that. You can't. Yet there's some of the games. The only reason that some of them are still even relevant and are still even played is because of the modding community. Like if Skyrim didn't have mods and didn't have the Creation Club, I don't think it would have survived as long as it has. Look at the backlash that Sony's facing for releasing The Last of Us again. Bethesda's not getting anywhere near the backlash for, the re-release of Skyrim for the umpteenth time on the umpteenth system. Because you can still do Creation Club. You can still do mods. You can change it.
At this point, I start to think of like a success of a game. How successful will it be is correlated heavily to how moddable it will be.
It's why I know people hate Cyberpunk 2077 because of its initial release. But when the company comes out, it's like, hey, so here's the stuff so you can mod it. We will be updating that. Just give us a little bit of time. But otherwise, go ahead and mod it. We'll give you all of the update. Hold on.
I am one of those people.
Same thing.
I am one of those people that got put off by Cyberpunk's original release. I bought that game and Red Dead Redemption 2 on the exact same purchase. And my intention that evening was to stream Cyberpunk. And the way that I usually do my streaming is I launch a game. Like, I don't pre-launch it. I don't do any settings or any changes to the game. Like, I pull up the game screen, I launch the game, and we experience it from second zero.
Yep.
And Cyberpunk was a true letdown. And there's another game that I play that it turned out a blessing. Like I made a friend out of it. I did the exact same thing. Booted it up on stream, first time ever, and it was broken. But the dev happened to be in the chat and helped me fix it, and that was cool. And I appreciate, Cyberpunk's team for admitting while really not admitting, and then offering a solution. And the offering of the solution is really admirable, in my opinion.
Well, to be fair, part of the biggest issue with Cyberpunk is they kept saying, "Hey, yes, we're putting it off because we're trying to, fix it. We're trying to make it better." And the fan base literally just kept ripping into them because it'd gotten pushed back almost a year, and so they said, "Fine, here, take it." And when people started bitching and complaining, it's like, "I'm sorry, we told y'all we weren't done. It was still glitchy. We were trying to fix it. Y'all didn't want to wait. Here's what y'all got. Suck it up and deal with it."
Yeah.
Is it the right way for the company to handle it? Probably not. But ever since then, there's not been nearly the backlash of games being pushed back for them trying to fix things and update it and make it better.
Like Grand Theft Auto 6?
Yeah. Or, Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I think the biggest game that I got that I was really looking forward to and really hyped about, that holy shit, it damn near turned me off of the franchise itself. Like, even now they're coming out with another game. I don't feel like buying it because I don't want to repeat. Borderlands 3. I got into Borderlands and Borderlands 2. My dad got it for the PS4 when we first got the PS4, and I liked it. It was fun. It was something him and I could do together. When I found out that Borderlands 3 was going to come out, I spent, decent chunk of change. I spent my birthday money because it came out on my birthday. And it sucked. Within the first month, there was 30-something different updates nerfing one person because he was too broken, to the point that it made the character almost nigh unplayable until they finished messing with all the characters. Now, all right, that's fine. It's more balanced, but like one of my friends, he loves the game. He's like, "Dude, you love it because it's fixed. You weren't there at, launch." But makes me understand the fact of people hate Cyberpunk because they were there at launch. I enjoy it. I understand the fact of why people hate it.
Kind of reminds me of Driver Gate. When Driver 3 came out, it wasn't really even playable. It was such a buggy fucking mess, and to make it worse, the company behind it basically bribed reviewers with advanced copies of the game if they gave them like 9 out of 10 or 90 out of 100 ratings.
I've heard about a little bit of the drama over that game. I never actually really played it.
Which one, Drivers or Borderlands?
Driver. Borderlands 2. Borderlands 3. I guess I should have said as well. But anyhow, Borderlands 3 is my introduction to the Borderlands franchise. And really the only reason I downloaded that game was because I was looking for a fairly mindless FPS with a little bit of a story. But, I just wanted to run around and shoot things.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the story. I don't care about the characters. I care about the game mechanics and the graphics. And they had unique graphics, and apparently a lot of people said it had good game mechanics. I mean, I don't know. I hadn't played the other ones. But
movement-wise is actually a lot better than Borderlands and Borderlands 2. Graphics-wise, it feels off compared to 1 and 2.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, no. I see the appeal of what you're saying for it.
And, like, my lifelong dream, not really, but okay. I grew up. My initial dabble into the world of FPS games was Quake 1. And then skip forward a little while, I had my own PC at this point in time and the internet, dial up, mind you. And Quake 3 was released. Now, if you're not familiar with Quake 3 is unlike the first and second iteration of the game, as this one has no storyline. It is called Quake 3 Arena. It is nothing but an arena shooter with no story. You can play against bots to unlock different maps, I think, but the modding community, like they came up with mods that were installed on server side only, and there were maps that you had to download. So the multiplayer experience of that game is something that I have always strived for since like Quake 3 went, dead. Um, there used to be a mod called Anarchy. You started off with all weapons, all weapon firing speeds were increased dramatically. You had regenerating ammo, regenerating health. You also started out with full health and full shields with the bonus values. Your movement speed was increased, your jump distance was increased, everything was like on hyper speed, and it was all arena shooters. So if you can think like in Doom Eternal, those portions of the map where you just have creatures coming at you, demons from all different directions, and you can kill some for fodder and ammo and health and whatnot, but there's always like main bosses. But what I'm talking about is the map size. It was an enclosed space. There was no exit door to unlock. It was last man standing or capture the flag or whatever the rules were. Those games have died. That entire genre has gone away. And I'm still searching for that, which why like Borderlands appealed to me. If I can't play it with real players, then at least I can have a little bit of fun, shooting the shit out of whatever I'm shooting at.
Yeah. I will admit Borderlands is good for that. Out of curiosity, who's the character you picked in 3?
Quake 3?
No, Borderlands
Oh,
3.
I don't even know.
Do you remember what their skill was?
No. Sorry. It didn't make a big impression on me. I didn't play it that much.
If you really wanted to do mindless shooting, Borderlands 2 has a little bit more story than 3, but it's a good thing that you can just run around, shoot things passively. I mean, you can follow the story. Once you're done with the story, you can just do whatever.
Nice. That's also a reason I like Red Dead 2. Like I'm done with the game. Now I can do whatever I want.
I got Red Dead 2. I played for like 3 hours and was still apparently in the tutorial, and that just kind of turned me off.
I would highly suggest that you get through it. It's one of those games, in my opinion, that yes, it takes a long time to get into, and it's something that I never would have thought that I would have enjoyed. And I currently rank this as one of the top 3 best video games of all time. It's really fighting for 1 and 2 in my head. But getting past the tutorial and opening up GTA Wild West, basically, you can go different places, do different things. It's relaxing, and I get it. It's not everybody's vibe, but it was something totally unexpected for me, and I really enjoy that experience of all of the missions. Like I'm currently on a second playthrough, and I also have another save file of just like free roaming around after I've done everything. Like it's relaxing. It's like being out in nature in a way. But I don't know. Not for everybody, but I do highly suggest if you can grit and bear it, go for it.
Have you tried Cyberpunk after it's been fixed?
I have not. No.
I do recommend it.
Okay.
It is one that I can sit there, and I'm actually looking forward to the update because they're going to have a mode where you can get in your vehicle and you can press a button and congratulations, it will just drive you around the city. You can have it take you from point A to point B, or you could just have it free drive. You could literally just cruise the streets of Night City, just listening to the music and just vibe.
That's cool. That's especially appealing for me because that's what I do in GTA 5.
Yeah.
I just get into my car and I turn on the radio and I drive all over the place.
For it.
I love it. It's great.
There are times that I'll just get on it and I'm just like, I just want to walk around the streets of Night City, and I'll just sit there and I'll just walk around aimlessly until I get attacked, and then I have to throw knives at people. The throwing knife build is so disgusting. I didn't even mean. Apparently, it's they're meta builds in Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even mean to make a meta build for it, but I inadvertently there was a difference of like 2 skills from what I had to the meta build, but I accidentally basically made the meta build in Cyberpunk for the knife throwing. I like the idea of running a sniper and having a knife that I could just sit there and just throw at somebody. I've done a couple of different endings, including the secret ending that's supposed to be really hard. It wasn't that hard for me, and that's the one thing I like with the secret ending. How much do you know about the different endings?
0.
So there is an ending. It's a secret ending. You have to do everything just right in order to even unlock it.
Okay.
In the secret ending, you don't get game over. If you die during the secret ending mission, that's it. It'll restart your save back to the previous thing, but you can't go after that ending again.
Oh.
It's a basically you do it solo. The name of the mission is Don't Fear the Reaper, and you do the mission solo.
So I'm guessing you have to put in 50, 60 hours of playtime, and then you just get one shot at this ending. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
They recommend typically if you by the time you get to the end of the game like that, you're probably going to be sitting around level 40. It's not an easy ending to do because the other endings you're going in with, other people to back you up, and so they can help take some of the heat off.
Mm-hmm.
But with this ending, it's just you.
Okay.
So instead of, you and the 4 other people behind you taking on 100 enemies, 25 each, it's just you versus the 100 enemies.
Okay.
It takes a little bit more finesse, but it is really worth doing. My knife build would not have been able to do the Don't Fear the Reaper. There were too many enemies for my knife build. I ended up going I think it was an assault rifle build or submachine gun build. My roommate Shiguto, he's trying to replicate that build and just not able to. I don't even know what I did to the build. But that's one thing I like with Cyberpunk is Cyberpunk actually has a lot of replayability similar to Skyrim. And for me, it almost feels like it will become another game like Skyrim as far as just replayability, and when more mods come out for it, I think it will be basically the next Skyrim.
You done?
Yeah.
What do y'all think about the whole Stop Killing Games initiative?
Isn't that the thing that people are trying to get them to where they're stop trying to say we don't actually own our games and stuff like that?
Yeah, and trying to stop games from ending up like The Crew, where you cannot play it because there's no option to play offline or with a private server. So nobody can ever play the game ever again, even though they bought it.
I happen to may or may not own a copy of the original Overwatch from Ubisoft. In their end user license agreement, I think that was Ubisoft, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's
better Blizzard's.
Blizzard Activision.
Okay, sorry, but Ubisoft is in this entire thing too. Let's not forget.
Yeah, definitely.
So I went to Target years and years and years ago and bought a copy of Overwatch and installed it on my PC. It was a CD-ROM or DVD, whatever it came on. And that disc is now nothing more than a coaster, unless I was somehow able to make it work on a computer that wasn't connected to the internet or something like that. I mean, I don't know, just speculation. But they killed the game. They didn't ask anybody, not that they really have to. Like, they own the IP and they constantly update the end user license agreements. And the whole Save Video Games initiative, I don't know a whole lot about it. Just on face value, I like it. I don't necessarily agree that when you buy a game, you own the game. You purchased a license to play the game. And I was raised that way from SimCity 2000. It said it, right there in the user's manual that came in the box, which is kind of a rarity these days. But like, I heard a performer say something a while back, actually just a couple months ago. His name is Penn Jillette of the Magic Duo Penn and Teller. He said that Magic is the only business where you can purchase an act or a gimmick or an illusion or something like that and also get the rights to perform it. And this happens all the time in the music industry. You can purchase, the rights to do a karaoke, or you can purchase the rights to play the music, instrumentally. Like, there's all kinds of options. And when it comes to video games, you simply purchase a license to play the game. You don't buy the IP, you just buy a copy of the game. So I don't know, like I'm all for save games, especially things that are defunct. Like the Pokemon games and running those on, emulators and the original NES games and stuff like that. Nintendo, I don't like you really much right now. But like the old Sonic games. We'll talk about Sonic. Sonic's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like playing Sonic, on the Sega Genesis, the 32X, all that good stuff. It was great. And now you just can't readily available get those systems. Sega doesn't have an authorized emulation console. Maybe they do. I don't know. But in those circumstances, when the company that has the IP is not losing any revenue, then sure, in my humble opinion, like you should be able to do whatever you want to with those ROMs, those titles. But I don't know. That's just me. In rant.
I'm a little on the fence. I don't like the aspect of let's say Skyrim. Of if Steam would just say, yeah, Bethesda doesn't want anybody to play Skyrim and pulls it. If it is a single player game, I think that if we buy it to play single player. But if it's a multiplayer game like Call of Duty, and it ends up dying, because I guarantee nobody's playing the very first Call of Duty that came out. If they are, I'd actually be shocked. But I understand the aspect of to run some of those servers, it does cost money. I understand that, as things progress, shutting down servers like the PlayStation 2 servers. I understand shutting down the internet servers for a lot of those games. But I think if you are going to shut down the servers for various games because you own them, the better way to do it may be, hey, we see that there's a community here. Would y'all be willing to pay a subscription and we will give you the servers, kind of thing? Where they still technically own the servers, but it's run by other people.
I have experience in this, actually.
I
Beat
think that
Saber.
would be a better option than, yeah, no, we're just turning the game off. Go ahead.
I think an even better option is to, when you're shutting down the company side servers, make one last update to allow the players to set up their own servers.
See, that's tricky because, like, one of the games I play or had played before they shut it off because the legal issues that they ended up getting. Jumpstart. You can't do online play. You can't buy any of the DLCs. So unless you had the game itself is completely dead. Like you can't even play LAN options. I think if they're gonna do things like that, at least allow maybe LAN options.
Yeah.
But I agree and disagree with the fact of, well, yeah, we're buying licenses for the digital games, but at the same time, we're still paying money. And on a whim, you can just turn it off and there's nothing we can do about it. Like that's not exactly fair to us as gamers, but at the same time, it is. It's a really touchy situation. Do I like the idea that of the games I bought, there's a very high probability that one day I'm going to try to get on it. It's like, nope, not allowed anymore, which would suck.
Especially games that require you to be always online for strictly single-player games.
It's a touchy situation because of the fact of how many games these companies produce. It is hard to keep track. And I do understand the aspects of, well, we just can't afford to run the servers. Yeah, there's like 3,000 people playing it, but that's not enough to, we need to divert those resources into some other games. I think a compromise between the companies and the players would be a better option. But no matter which way you look at it, people aren't going to be happy. Nobody's going to get everything they want. And that's honestly part of life. You're not going to get the promotion you want in a job all the time. You're not going to get every little thing you want. But I also think that if there are going to be times where, yeah, we're going to shut this game off. Okay, win. Tell us when. Like, hey, after 10 years, we are no longer going to support the server of this, or 20 years.
That's what
We're not gonna
Samsung's
support it.
doing.
Do what?
That's what Samsung is doing.
Samsung's letting people know now?
Yeah, they're saying if you buy an S25 Ultra or whatever it is, then you're guaranteed 7 or how many ever years of updates.
Which I think, okay, if that is what they're doing, maybe drop the cost of games, but every so many years you have to pay to kind of keep it in the loop.
So I have a question regarding like the final update and the difficulty of setting up servers. Like,
Okay.
I know many games where you can set up a private server. Like, I could run a server off of the PC that I'm talking to you all with right now. Numerous different games. The difference between my server and like the studio server is going to be the easy anti-cheat or whatever else security measures they have, blah 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 blah. So what if on that final update they just had a package that you could buy, and yes, I said buy, for 20, 30, 40 bucks, that would give you all of the currently available tools to run the same thing that they're doing on a much smaller scale.
I don't see an issue with that. Honestly, I think it'd be a good business opportunity. Start a company that the entire sole purpose of the company is to run servers that gaming companies no longer want to maintain.
Isn't that very similar to the Minecraft marketplace?
I think so, yeah.
There you go.
I'm not very versed in that, but I think that would be a better thing to do. But at the same time, from what I hear, there are people that they're single player games that, there's not anything online other than, scorekeeping, that the game itself's just gone.
Yeah.
I don't know much because I haven't read it. Unlike, other things like bills. I got tired of people arguing, so I read the thing. That was not how I wanted to spend an afternoon. But it's one of those things of no gamer's going to be happy when the games they enjoy are discontinued.
Yeah. That's really the reason that the whole retro gaming thing is taking off. Like, those games are forever.
Yeah.
And we're currently, like, literally, we're currently seeing games disappear. And that's not cool.
I think if the company's no longer if the company no longer wants to support them or sell it or anything like that, it should become free to the players.
Yeah, I've seen that option go on the Steam marketplace, and I've also seen the price like dramatically decrease to like $2 or something like that, just so that they can like, hey, look, we don't want to give it away for free. We just want something that you're at least a little bit interested,
Yeah. Like I'm sorry. I keep telling people that there is a game I would love for them to remake because it is one of my favorite games for the N64. N64 came out what? Almost 30 years ago?
Almost.
Gauntlet Legends. It is by far one of my favorite N64 games. I tell people I would pay money to see it updated, but at the same time, it's a 30-year-old game. It'll take a bit to update that to today's standards. But I don't think it would be right if they just said, yeah, nope, you can't play this anymore.
We done?
Yeah.
So, I can't even remember what we started on.
Well, we must have gone a long way. I think we started with games that we played to relax.
Yeah.
That's where we start.
Yeah, and we're ending with basically the whole thing with killing games. So that's where it went. Again, have a email address if you want to contact us about questions, comments, character stories. Gamersperience@gmail.com, all lowercase, GamerSperience@gmail.com. You can send us a direct message at Gamersperience. Please mention the podcast, or else I will probably consider it spam. You can leave a comment on the YouTube quote unquote video, Gamersperience podcast, and on our pinned X post and every YouTube quote unquote video. There should be a non-expiring link to our Discord server. And again, we also have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Gamersperience. There's a couple of tiers, one $5 a month. It's not that much, but it means the world to us because we really don't have a budget. And again, thank you, Backseat Gorilla, for joining us.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Thanks for having me again.
I'm Not Much 23.
And I'm ChoasAssassin.
This is Gamersperience, and as always, we invite you to go have your own Gamersperience.